Hey, what's up, guys? So right now I'm working on mounting my bottle brackets. So according to the instructions, you have to have these two brackets 7 inches apart. I'm assuming so you can get the right angle, because they have to be at a specific angle for them to work the best. And so for the 10-pound bottle, it is 7 inches apart. So I already have those marked up right there. So I'm just going to mark 7 inches from that. And where this isn't painted, this used to all be sound deadening. So it is removed compared to stock, because stock is just, this paint. So if you still have the sound deadening, then you're going to be drilling through that too. But it's really not that tough. Alright, so my marks are the silver ones. So that one, then that and that. I don't know why it's so gross. I think it's just a little bit of water collected on that sound deadening and then just kind of rotted over time. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill holes and then use the included bolts and nuts. And then I'll use drill and then I'll use the nut on the other side, since this is really thin sheet metal and you can't really make threads into this. So that's how I'm going to do that, and then yeah.
gonna lie to you kids, it's a fucking jungle out there.
Alright, so as you saw, I got the nitrous line through that little grommet right there. And then I'm gonna follow. So here's where the stock fuel rails and brake lines are. So I'm just gonna zip tie it to this all the way up front. Cause those come right down there, the bottom right corner. That's where those guys come from. Somewhere down there. And then it'll run up and then it'll tap into this fuel line right here. Alright, so I 3D printed this bracket and catted this up and 3D printed it. So now I'm just gonna make the threads in it. So this third hole right here is for the relay. It comes with the kit. Okay, so now I just gotta tight fit. This is the best spot I found, however, for these solenoids. Alright, so that seems pretty sturdy. I don't think those are going anywhere. But here's what it looks like. And then the relay will sit on top right there. But it uses, I believe this is where the stock air box goes, and then I don't have a stock air box, so I don't think you could use this with the stock air box. I'm pretty sure you can't, because if I remember right, it goes all the way to about here. So you can't use this bracket for stock air box, but if you have like an intake or like a short ram like I have, you probably can. Anyways, so then we have the fuel line. So this is the fuel feed line, and this will tap into this guy right here I'm pointing at. And then we have the nitrous line coming from the back of the car. And then we have our two outlets that go into here. And then we will drill a hole into the intake, and then that will be the next step. But
keep your head on tight, unknown brain and mind me, baby, let's do it. Y'all see me flying, never drop down, smoking high, I am not round, I'm not round, no denying what I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down, see me flying, never drop down, smoking high, I am not round, I'm not round, no denying what I got now, keep an eye out, keep it locked down, locked down. You're too strong when I battle with the beast, bring a few on. The commander and the chief on my crew on. Bullets rattling and whistle at your toque. Never sleep, eyes open, hands clutching on my loot. This a war zone. This a war zone. Yo, this a motherfucking war zone. This a war zone. Yeah, feel the impact. Yeah, break it open, leaving nothing f***ing intact. Hey yo, you been hacked. You're safe, hard in, but I found it, homie, been cracked. Hey yo, we been back. Your band stacking, see you flexing with the thin stack. Hey, you been whacked.
Alright guys, so here we go. I got my nozzle installed. So even though this is pretty thick and nice aluminum pipe, I just decided to use the included like little nut thing, just because I don't really want to try to make threads in this, because these are pretty ghetto honestly, but they're in there. So I just decided to use that, be a little more reliable. And as you can tell, maybe you can see it, you can see the end of the sprayer. It is past those bungs, as well as it's pointed the direction of the airflow like it's supposed to be. But so the next step is to hook up the fuel line and the NOS line for the last time, and then the wiring, and that's it. Alright, so I got my solenoid and my relay mounted up on my little bracket. So now I'm installing the nitrous line. So we have the NOS line going in, and then we'll do the fuel line here in a minute, and those are the ones that go out. But that one goes down there. So I'm going to put a little bit of this included, I'm assuming, thread locker onto each one of these fittings and tighten it down. I figured out that the little 3 AN lines are 7/16, and I have no idea what the big ones are, because they aren't a 9/16 or 5/8 or a half. So I'm just going to use the adjustable wrench. It's probably like a 17 30-seconds or 18 30-seconds or something of that nature. Not super sure, but anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm gonna hook all these lines up, and then we're gonna cut the fuel line in half. And I'm going to, you have to bleed the system of pressure. Well, you don't have to, but you should, otherwise you're just gonna spray fuel all over the place. So don't want to make a mess. So that's the current plan. We'll start the time lapse and I'll show you.
Kill 'em all, feel the motherfucking impact. Yo, this a war zone, homie. Say you ready and prepared. Take a minute, make them aware. Well, I'll be sneaking in the back, but it's what the clap. Homie, life ain't fair. Caught me crawling through the mud where the vision saw it clearly. Born a shepherd to these sheep, make them fear me. This a war zone, trashed out, trap house, nothing ever given. Yeah, every day's a blessing. Thank the Lord, oh how I'm living. See me riding with my top down. Oh, cops round, pedal pressing on the gas. I don't think I'll ever stop.
Alright, so before we cut that guy in half, need to get rid of your fuel pressure in the system. So, best way I know how, pop that. So, the fuel pump is fuse 1, so the bottom one. Let's see, but this 15 amp on the bottom that's blue, so that's the fuse you want to pull. Okay, so now that's done. Pop your gas cap, and you'll hear the pressure release. Alright, so now I'm gonna start it until it dies. Let it run. Alright, looks like there's no pressure in the line anyways, so easy way. So there should be no fuel pressure in the system. So now when you cut this line in half, you shouldn't get sprayed with fuel. I am gonna stuff it down there with towels just so it doesn't make, because there is gonna be some fuel in there, just not pressurized. So that's next up.
Devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand, bang, got my hand, call.
Alright, so here's the wiring diagram for the system I have. So I'm going to start with the easy stuff and do the grounds because this is really easy. And then so do the ground with that, and then we'll do red to green. We don't have a white, so that will go to ground with that one. And then we will do power. And these, I'm not sure yet. This will for sure go inside the cabin. That's this one, so that's the little arming switch. And then this one, this is like the safety switch, I guess you could say. So when you're floored, the gas pedal should touch this, like that. You hear the click. But I haven't found a way to mount it yet. So still working on that. But I'd like to use this Otherwise, I'll have to just do it by hand, and I don't really want to do it by hand. I'd rather just do it like this because I'll be able to focus on driving the vehicle more. So there's that.
Bring it back now. I got the moves. Hey. Hold up. If you turn around, you gon' face the lid. Shooting from above, go to sleep, you're dead, What? 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 What?
Alright, so it's a little moist, so I need to tighten the fittings up a little bit. See? But we're gonna do a quick test. I have it wired up according to this diagram. So it is on. see the red light? So when I click this switch, this bottle should fill up with gasoline. And it does. So, looks like everything's working. We don't have any leaks down here. Awesome. Alright. So, my plan is to take this double-sided tape and put it on the back of it, or top, bottom, whatever you want to call it. And then right next to the gas pedal, there's this like little, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm gonna stick it to this, and then that should hold it in place. So from there, I'll get a blowtorch and I will heat up this nail right here. I'll get that pretty hot, and then I'll take pliers and I will poke it through both these holes, and then I'll use these included mounting screws to hold it. So that way I can, when I'm out Watt, this will click, and then nitrous will spray, and when I'm out, it'll disengage. So that's my plan, so we're gonna go ahead and try it out. Bring it back now. Got it all mounted up finally. It was kind of a pain, but here we go. Test. So you hear that click right at the end? That's exactly what I want. Because that means when I come up on my stall at 2 grand, it won't engage until boom, dump it, and then you're good. So that was my whole, I got that all adjust it perfectly, and if need be, if it doesn't like engage right, I can always just wrap a piece of electrical tape around this part right here and use that as a spacer to like bring this lever closer to the gas pedal, because you pretty much only have one shot in screwing against this, because the width of this is wider than this, so you have to do it at an angle, so you can't really mess it up too much. But I got it close enough to where it's fully, if need be, I can get it to work right. But now, just finish up the wiring. Alright, so next, we're going to pop out this left side of the instrument panel, so that way we can remove this blank and drill our switch holes into it. So, you will need a little screwdriver like this. I call him Little Stubby. And then you take out these two, and then when you first do it, you're going to need interior pry tools to pop this out, but mine's loose because I've had it out quite a few times. So now I just pop this out with my hands. So go ahead and do that real quick. One here. You'll be able to pop this out. Maybe. I remember a screw being in there somewhere. About it. Alright, so this is my whole actual nitrous part, and then this is the bottle warmer. So the white wires is ground, so those both share a ground to right there. And then this far left one is the switched on power, which is this pink one. Wait, sorry. Which is not the pink one, which is this far right one. So those tap into this little adapter thing, which is for the fuel pump. And then the middle one is the accessory. So the middle wire goes to the relays for each system. So this goes to the relay and the NOS system, and then this goes to the relay for the warmer. But so right now this one's off. Now it's on, you can see the red light. And then this one works as well. Red light. So now I'm going to do the same thing I did to this blank, and just grab the step bit and drill a hole until I can fit the switch in. And then I got a blank from the junkyard, wherever it is. I got this from the junkyard out of a TL, same thing. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to see. I'm trying to get a view. So where this metal frame is, to the right of the fuses, and in between this part of the dash, there's a gap, real small gap. Pretty hard to see, but you can see my ground wire and my blue wire and my black wire coming out of that. And then from in here, you can see those come through, along with my AF4 wires back there. So you kind of just have to go by feel and finesse all those through if you want to do it like this. But this is the best way. You can also do it with this too. It's just, I think you have to take off this lower part to get to this one. But if you have like a third switch, this would be a good spot too, unless you just want to ditch the sunroof. But I have no VSA, and this is already a blank for me. In order to run this wire, I'm going to put it underneath this door jamb thing. So there's just little clips that hold it on. And you can just pry it off by hand. It'll be a little tighter than the first time you do it, but I've had this off a couple times, so. And then you can so you can see where the clips are, one there. What? Well, that one didn't come out. One there, one there. And then for this, if I remember right, you gotta hold that up and then wiggle it out. So I'm not gonna even bother to take this all the way out. I'm just gonna try and just stuff this behind it, if that makes sense. See what I'm just stuff it behind there like that, and then that's good. So that was easy. But if you're gonna take it fully off, I'm pretty sure you just have to hold that up and then take it all the way out. And then now I'm just gonna run this underneath that, and then you can see how my amp is wired up. So if you have the stock rear interior, you're gonna have to take off this door card and then run it underneath the seat. So you're gonna have to remove the seat as well, and then both top and bottom. So for this install, you're gonna have to remove basically all your rear interior anyways. To do it, you're gonna have to remove the back part of the seat, and then the lower part, and then a minimum of one side. So either that side or this side for the door card. And then depending on where you mount your bottle, I was thinking about mounting it to this pillar right here, which is totally feasible, so you could do that as well. Or you put it where I put it, or you can put it like on one of those ribs there. I just want it in the center, so I don't have like any awkward weight distribution, since everything, including my sub box, is in the center. So you kind of just gonna have to get creative on where you put it, especially if you have a full interior, because that limits your options a lot.
Blinded by the light ahead, thought about just what you said. Connecting lives is what you planned. After all, let's take a chance. Turning dust into diamonds, turning love into guidance. A second chance, let us.
So here's my power wire. I got like, so you see this, and this is my ground wire for my amp. So basically I got another one of these, and so this is a 4-gauge wire, so it should be able to support the amp and the bottle warmer without an issue. So basically I have both those running into here, because if I didn't do that, I'd have to run a wire all the way to the battery, all the way back here, and there's no really point of doing that if I already have a wire back here for my amp. So from there, I just need to run it and zip tie it to where I have this at, and then that'll be my last connection, and then this will go right here, and then we can go ahead and give it a shot. Alright, so got everything hooked up. First switch, grounds, all that fun stuff. Then I have my relay bolted right there, and I have all this wired up to the, according to the wiring diagram that it calls for. And I kind of just stuffed all the wires in there. That's what it looks like. We turn the switch on. I'm gonna put the camera right next to the relay. See if you can pick it up. So that's the bottle warmer. It is working. And now we can crack the bottle a little bit and see if we have any leaks. And then if not, we can test out the warmer. Sorry over the background noise. Got the car running. See if I can get it to focus. So you see that 41 there? So you nitrous some fuel, and you go off of this chart. I'm doing a 75 shot, so I need a 41 of the N2O and a 23 of the gasoline, and that's these two jets. So I'll take these, I'll put them in with the stick end going into the shark nozzle. This is called they call this a shark nozzle, so I'm not sure if that's what it's always called. And then after that, you screw in your lines, and then you screw it into your intake. Pretty simple.